Mayan Shaw with RVMax.us, and today I have an exquisite coach. It's one of the most tastefully spec'd King Airs that I've seen in my short but sweet lifetime. This coach has not only tasteful exterior choices, but the interior has been spec'd with the upgraded King Air wood in the style that is typical in a King Air, but for this model year, they did a couple things differently, one of which is give us increased travel space when the slides are tucked in. But let's go ahead and get started. This coach has only about 38,000 miles on it, and the floor plan is incredible when you open it up. You've got a massive HWH flush tile slide right here on the driver's side of the coach, and you'll see when we get on the interior, but even with this massive slide, when it's closed up, you still have travel space. So I will admit, Newmar for a couple of years there kind of forgot about travel space. Well, they really listen to their clientele, and it shows in their coaches. Now this has a 12.5 Onan quiet diesel generator in the front, and it's on a massive hydraulic generator slide. So you've got excellent access to it if you ever need to service it or have it serviced. It's just nice having access to everything in this front end. Now, this is, of course, a one-piece windshield. There is a small little crack in the glass. There's this little chip. Now, the face of these King Airs is quite beautiful, and that's sort of a personal preference thing, which generation you like best. So I'm going to hold back my comments there, but you might catch how I feel as we go along. There are nice little running lights on the coach. The generator, of course, piped out the side, and there are mounts for like a Gentani or an exhaust pipe that runs to the top of the coach so you can get your exhaust away from, down in your patio space and or your neighbor. Now, the coach is equipped with a 360 HD camera system that has a fantastic interface. You've got two massive screens in the cockpit, and you'll see us walk through this later on in the video. But basically it lets you park this thing like you're in a video game almost. And on top of the excellent camera system, the cockpit is decked out in a whole suite of onboard technology in this coach that blesses you as you go down the road.
And it's brought together through a valid digital dash that not only shows your tach, all your oil pressure information, oil temperature, it also shows all of your active safety systems, including a collision mitigation system, which will start braking for you if it detects that you're going to get into a crash. And this is along with the lower level stuff, hopefully before a crash occurs, like a distance warning, which will occur if it notices you're accelerating a little quickly towards traffic, or if traffic starts slowing down in front of you. It will also detect your blind spots. So if there's someone in a lane next to you and you start coming in, it will warn you, even if that car is way in the back behind or around the tag axle, which is pretty impressive. I've seen this system on the older coaches, but typically they can't get that far back. It's a really nice system to have, and that's probably my favorite out of all of them. Although it's kind of hard to pick because there's also an active cruise control system, which will take a whole lot of stress out of operating cruise control and driving this coach while going down the highway.
Now down the sides, of course, we've got flush windows, and the tinting is quite nice. You can barely see in them. Another thing you notice on this bus is massive amounts of window space. We actually have a window right there that has no screen on it. It's just one large window dedicated to letting natural light into the coach. And it's such a tasteful interior that natural light goes perfectly with it. And it just makes you want to keep all your shades wide open. And the coach also has a Girard awning package. So we've got all electric awnings, including the window awnings on either side of the coach. We've got two full-length Girards on the other side for the patio space, which we'll cover in a second. On this side of the coach, we do have the egress door. So you've got that emergency escape there in case anything horrible goes down. And again, from this angle, the coach just looks gorgeous. And it brings me to a small little facet. This has a 292-inch wheelbase. So it's a K3 chassis with Newmar's chosen specifications, and I think that's a very balanced ride quality versus maneuverability position for Newmar to be at 292 inches.
And this Spartan K3 is equipped with the Hadley Active Air Ride system, which allows you to raise or lower the coach and then proceed to move it around up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. And this coach has a 20,000 pound towing capacity. Big thanks to the X15 and the 4000 Allison, but a major MVP award going to the 20,000 pound rating that not only the drive axle or the dually axle has, but the front axle has. And then you've got that added tag axle that comes in at a 14,000 pound capacity. So 20,000 pounds of towing capacity is not going to be a problem for this coach. And the X15 is a serious engine producing about 2,000 pound-feet of torque. And this has a tri-stage exhaust brake, which will launch you forward in your seat. You better be buckled up when you have that exhaust brake on high. The K3 chassis with the passive steering in the back is a tank of a chassis, and they added 365 size tires up in the front.
So down the passenger side of this coach, we of course have our two large Girard awnings that pretty much span the entire length of this side of the coach. And it's really hard stopping my comments about how good the coach looks. So this coach has the optional chrome that goes down both sides of the coach and includes some of the most exquisite chrome trim pieces that'll go around the wheel wells. And while that was quite dramatic, they do make quite a difference. Like when you're looking down the side of the coach, you've got sort of a classic Newmar high-level look. The windows are something, again, well thought of on this side of the bus as well. So we've got a large window right there, and then we've got another huge window right behind the headboard in our master bedroom, and that is going to be a little surprise we'll talk about when we tour through the interior. It's quite gorgeous and very, very thoughtful, and goes along the lines of being that natural light type of interior that just makes you feel so at home and comfortable when you're in it. But outside, we've got our entertainment thought of. So when you're outside the coach, outside of that peaceful environment inside, you can be entertained. You can watch your football games, basketball games, or watch a movie out by the fire. Whatever it may be, you do have this setup out here with a nice Bose soundbar included. And I'm going to shut this back down. So these two small window awnings are, of course, electric as well, and they are Girards. We've got a Girard entrance awning in addition to Girard the large patio awnings up top. And of course, the patio awnings have built-in LEDs, and there are a beautiful array of LED lights that have the circumference of the whole bus lined, including behind and under the engine and up in the front of the wheels. We also have nice dock lights in the coach here. They're both recessed. There's two on each side of the bus, and there are what Newmar calls security lights. They're like upper patio lights all around. So we've got one, two on this side, and then there's one on the other side as well. So the coach is very, very well lit wherever you are, even when you're out in the compartments, because the compartments are full of LED lights too. There is an outdoor fridge as well. So a fridge freezer can be enjoyed, and this is really huge when you're out tailgating or just hanging out or whatever you might be doing, especially if you're hosting. And this coach has some hidden gems down in the compartment bay area.
And we're going to begin with this first compartment behind the passenger side wheel. We've got a nice little storage compartment here because our entertainment bay is up above. Now, the next compartment over is a full pass-through storage compartment, and this is where our extra 70-gallon freshwater tank is located. The compartment next to that is yet another large pass-through storage compartment with an electric tray. Push button, it will come out on both sides of the bus. Now there are outlets on the top left of this compartment here, and all of these bays are well lit with LED strips on each little frame where the door is connected. Now this compartment is where our party saver is, aka the outdoor refrigerator slash freezer, which is located on a slide tray. There are also outlets in this compartment, and there was a central vac located there too. I'm moving a little fast. Now this is our classic Newmar tool storage compartment, and next to that is our 16 batteries on a slide tray. Now this compartment is where the def tank is located, and the compartment to the left of that is where our 2 chassis batteries are housed. Around back, located behind an Aire operated rear hatch, is our X15 15-liter Cummins producing 600 horsepower and 2,000 pound-feet of torque. This coach has a cold air intake on the roof of the bus, and of course with the radiator on the side, you've got excellent access to the rear of this engine, and the bottom portion will come out with some not too hard unbolting. There's a very nice outside shower. There is of course whole coach filtration. You can check the levels of your tanks from out here, as well as toggle your pump on and off. And in addition to that pump toggle, we've got an automatic fill. So you just click that fill and it will switch your valve automatically and top off your tank, and then go back to city pressure. Now you can also use that manual valve down there to switch from city to tank fill. And what I like about this dump valve setup is you don't have to run the macerator to dump your tank, because of course we've got macerators built in the toilet. And there's also a escape emergency valve right there in the middle. For some reason you need to dump through there because of some blockage elsewhere. For whatever reason, there's an emergency dump there, which is super nice. And the way the dump valves are set up is they are regular valves just with electronic bits. So if the electronic bits go out, you just still have a regular old valve you can easily operate. This is our mana block, and it's housed in this nice little container. It looks so beautiful. The other side, we've got low point drains as well as tank flushes for both black and gray. And interestingly, there are low point drains for the black and gray flushes, which is super cool. So you don't have any backwash, no chance of backwash. You leave the pressure on, let those valves open, then turn the pressure off. There's also a water tap, so you can, get water out of the system of the coach if you'd like. And the compartment next door is where our surge guard protector is located. This is built in with the automatic transfer switch. And right in front of that is our 50 amp power cord reel, which is on an electric push button reel with that convenient double sealed mechanism down there on the bottom, so you can easily put your cable in and not have to fish it through any holes. I love that design. In the small cubby hole to the left is where we've got our 2 3,000 watt Xantrex inverters. Again, this is all tied into that Silverleaf control system, so everything happens through that. And the compartment to the left is our pass-through storage compartment that has the push-button electric slide tray that comes out on this side too. And to the left of that is where there used to be a slide tray, but now we've got the extra freshwater tank, and that is hooked into where you can easily install a pressure washer. There's even an extra pump located in there. So if you want to pump it out and get it into your system, you can easily do that. But that power pressure washer system is set up quite nicely with that extra tank, or you could use the extra freshwater tank for camping purposes. Now the very forward compartment on the driver's side of the coach is where we've got a lot of chassis side electronics, and there's the button for the HWH hydraulic slide, which of course lets our 12.5 Onan quiet diesel generator pop out of the front, including the entire face of the coach, giving you incredible access up in the front of the bus. And with that, let's go take a peek at the fiberglass roof. So this has a beautiful Newmar roof on it with 3 roof air conditioners that are also heat pumps. And in the front, we've got a in-motion Winegard satellite dish, as well as Sirius XM antennas, our Winegard Razor digital local channel antenna, basically. Now this coach has fantastic fans. There's 3 of them. And towards the middle, we've got a optional Winegard SWM satellite dish, an open face automatic tracking. And in the very back here, we've got the raised cap to give us that extra nice height in the master bathroom. And there's a fantastic fan there, a small chassis tender solar panel. And you can see the Girard Nova awnings, as well as all of the beautiful extra body paneling that surrounds the rest of the roof, giving it that taller look, that taller, substantial, and more proportional look that these buses have become known for. This roof is in incredible condition, as are all of the slide out toppers and the awning fabrics.
But let's go ahead and take a peek at the interior, because the interior of this bus is it's so nice. Welcome inside the King Aire. This coach has villa furniture, and the leather that has been chosen specifically for the King Aire is continued on all of the trim pieces around and throughout the coach. So this is one of those interiors that uses a material like that to not only tie it together, but to me, it makes for a softer interior vibe all around, not only on the look department, but the noise. This panel up here is not only used to suppress the noise of the air conditioners, but it's finished in this thick, nice leather material. And the rest of the headliner is, of course, that typical high-end RV type leather material, but you see this leather throughout the coach. It's used on the trim pieces and the window treatment. And the window treatment in this coach is finished in this beautiful, soft Alcantara material, and it highlights those absolutely massive windows. The windows let a lot of natural light in the coach, and that is something that is truly thought of for this generation Newmar coaches, and I think it's quite well appreciated by a lot of people. Who doesn't like more visibility and natural light coming in their coach? Now, as I was talking about the window treatment, it's a very beautiful material and it's extremely well done, but it's not in your face at all. It's a classy material, and it goes very well with the, of course, continued Corian little windowsills that you get behind the windows. Now, this couch is, of course, a villa couch, because all the furniture in here is finished in villa. And first of all, you'll see these beautiful little trim pieces along these villa couches that just accents it so well. But hidden below is a king-size air mattress that folds out right into this space and lets you host a lot more comfortably than your standard jackknife couch. Now, these two chairs up here, they do swivel, and they're villa pieces as well, with the classic King Aire insignia put on the side. It just goes so well, and it's interesting for me to watch Newmar develop this King Aire brand in their own way, and I think the coach just screams high class. Now, we've got a extra Sony Smart TV up in the front of this coach, and I say extra because that's in addition to a massive televator on the opposing side of our main couch. And I don't know how you feel about this, but there's nothing like being on a massive couch to kick back and watch some TV, some movies, some racing. This coach has satellite with satellite capabilities. Of course, you've got smart TV so you can stream, and the Bose surround sound that is equipped for the living room space is outstanding. Not only will it knock your socks off in the clarity, the bass is so strong. I don't know if you're particularly going to enjoy bass, but even in movies, it's nice to have that theatrical feel. But you can use the Bose system while going down the road too, which is super nice. Now, this couch right here is more of a love seat type couch, and it does jackknife. So you just lift it up and it will go flat. There are also seat belts under these couches and outlets on both sides of the couch. So they did put a lot of outlets throughout the interior. It's what you want to see, of course. There are also wireless chargers you'll see in the little side pieces, side tables in the bedroom. But there is a nice little extra countertop here, and these these pieces that go around the slide are so massive, especially around that full wall slide. Now, the lights in this area can be turned on motion sensing. So if you click that button, it will eventually turn the lights off in the area, so you can conserve power and just not pay attention to the lights as much. Now I hear a beeping noise, and I think we got to replace one of the batteries. It's going to drive me crazy. Hopefully it doesn't get into the video too much, but it might. Okay, the galley space. So the galley space, typical Newmar, if you're asking me as far as how it's laid out, how it's styled, you can't go wrong. I mean, there's not too much to change once you find a nice galley space setup. What's interesting about this coach is we've got this beautiful accent piece back there with a back accent light installed behind the backsplash. Now this is a touch delta, so you just touch it and it turns on. Now right now we don't have any water pressure in the coach, but you touch it anywhere on it, it comes on. And this double sink is really nice. I think this is called a farmer's type sink, and it looks beautiful. There's a ton of storage down below, and we've got a ton of storage around this galley space as well, hidden behind that beautiful Newmar woodwork. We've got a little bit of accent lighting up in that area just around the galley space, and it kind of goes with the underlighting that's beneath the galley space. And the bottom of the galley space is trimmed in this kind of beautiful mirrored type chrome finish. It's not chrome, but it's like a mirror, and what it does is make it look like it's floating. And with the accent lights on the top and bottom, the galley space, you'll be sitting there and observing it, and it'll just kind of pop out and float if you're looking at it from the right angle, sitting on the couch or sitting over there. It's quite incredible. Now down below we've got a stainless Fisher & Paykel dishwasher and a drawer, and on top of that, in our countertop space, we've got a Wolf induction stove that looks fantastic if you're asking me. The way it's set up is nice. Instead of having two medium-sized burners, you've got a smaller burner and then a larger burner, which I think is a little more useful in most situations. Also, these pieces are super lightweight, and guess what? They know you want to use it as a cutting board. It's smart. All right, let's put these back. Okay, up above there is an Advantum 120 microwave slash convection oven, top of the line, stainless finished. It looks quite nice, and it goes very well with this interior. Okay, our dinette area is beyond plush. In fact, these look like these extra cushions, so you gotta be careful to not try to drag them and take them off, because this isn't your typical dinette that you see in an RV. It doesn't change into a bed like your typical dinette in an RV, but you've got the jackknife, you've got the King Air mattress. You don't really need it, and I would much rather have a super comfortable dinette area right here. You can just get in that little corner and enjoy yourself. It's quite nice. It's very plush, and this actually will extend, so you can seat 4 people here quite comfortably. There's also drawers on the bottoms of this furniture piece setup, so you've got extra storage. There's a little bit of storage down below here. So again, in that wood, you know, they really finish it everywhere, even on these pieces like way down there in the corner. Again, I don't think I need to prove what Newmar can do in a King Air, but it's just really fun to observe, to be honest. Okay, the middle of the coach here, we've got a refrigerator, which is finished in the King Air wood, and I think looks stunning because the rest of it on the sides goes so well, especially because of the stainless accent pieces, these mirrored accent pieces. Stainless looks like it's part of all the original trim, and I think that's really what helps bring this entire coach just feel so seamlessly done. It's actually really incredible what they've done with this interior. We've got a massive household refrigerator here. To the left of the refrigerator, I have a huge pantry with those LED strip lights, giving it an excellent backlighting to it, so you know you're gonna see everything very clearly, super deep. All right, right in here, we've got our half bath, and that beautiful honeycomb backsplash is continued in the half bath. There's a beautiful little sink, electric day and night shades. There's a vent out window, a high, medium, and low setting on the push button fantastic fan. There is a specific little heater for this half bath. so you can stay comfortable. And then you've got the central vac connection right there, as well as the dust bin for the central vac. Now, one thing I forgot to point out about this galley space is the power strip. We've got a bunch of outlets right there, nice little power strip. I've seen very high dollar coaches have to get modified later on for not having that from the factory. Well thought out. Okay, large pocket door. And look at these pieces, they're so nice, aren't they? So you can shut this whole back master suite off from the world. So we've got a king bed right here. And remember when I was talking about that cool little feature in the bedroom? Well, that is this. So you've got these frosted glass pieces that are part of this beautiful wood finished headboard, and you can get that radiant sunlight through it if you like, and you can also open it up like this. So you can have the radiant sunlight coming through frosted glass, so it's private, and then you can actually open it up and get that great view. That's just a pure window right there, nothing in the way. It's actually an emergency exit as well. So Newmar is very thoughtful about their emergency exits. That window's emergency exit. So if you can't get to the egress door, you could just bail there. So I love the fact that we've got the frosted glass, but if you want to completely black it out, there is the only manual shade in the coach. So there are nice little extra LED reading lights underneath here as well. And you can control your outdoor security lights from this switch set right up here, as well as your generator, your shades in the bedroom, and the lights in the general coach. So that's quite nice. Now this king bed is very nice. On both sides of the king bed, we've got our little countertop spaces here with cabinet space. And both of these countertops have built-in wireless chargers. So you got the storage space in the bottom, wireless charger up top. You just plop your phone on it, let it charge overnight. No more worrying about the cables getting caught in the slide when you bring it in and out. This is some of those other pieces that are covered in that leather material that I was talking about that really helps deaden the sound in the coach. The coach is quite a quiet space in here and a very peaceful environment with that natural light coming in. It feels like anywhere could be home and just put you into a blissful state of mind. That's what this interior all around does for me. Anyways, across from the massive king bed, we've got a huge extra Sony Smart TV, and we've got another Bose system here as well. So you can really enjoy your theater experience back here in the bedroom, or just watching a show if you really want to blast it. Now these drawers are just so beautifully done, and there's 4 of them. There's just a ton of space in here. We've got drawers in both sides. You've got all these deep drawers in the middle, and then the double level Corian countertop right there looks so nice. I am actually 5'11", and I can stand here. So this is 5'11" in here. So that's a pretty tall. You see that extra tile? This is in the full wall slide. So you've got a ton of extra space because of that. And look at this, everything is thought out, right? You've got just nice walkway around the bed. By the way, you see those courtesy lights that go around the bed? Those courtesy lights, you can set them on motion sensing, which is really convenient. They just go on and off. If you get up in the middle of the night, they just come on for you like magic. Now this is our master bathroom. And one thing I want to say about this master bathroom is the tile heat is on its own zone. So there are 3 zones of tile heat in this bus, and they can be set at a level of 1 through 10. And the fact that the rear master is on its own is quite nice. Now to the right, we've got a nice sink here, little glass brick backsplash. I like the fact that the backsplash is different in the master bathroom. To me, it makes the master bathroom feel more separate and like its own space, because that glass brick is continued in the shower, as you'll see. So ton of space down below. There's a bunch of medicine cabinet space back there. And then, of course, we've got our egress door. So all you do is unlock it, hit the handle, and you're out the coach. This window will actually vent out. And down below, we've got a porcelain Dometic toilet. Both toilets are actually porcelain Dometics with built-in macerators. So that is really nice. Lets you just that black tank just stays super easy to maintain when you've got macerators built in the toilet. So across the street, we've got a large glass enclosed shower, and the tiling that's done in it is very nice. And when you step in here, you really notice how much space you've got. So first of all, let's note some details. The tiling on the floor is all pointed towards the drain, if you see what I mean. So what that does is let the water that comes down the walls and gets in the corners and everything, it all finds its way here, even if you're in a random parking lot and it's unlevel. That's very thoughtful right there. You've got, of course, a teak seat. You've got that beautiful glass brick that's continued in here. I love this soft stone look. It just feels so warm and inviting in here. I don't know what it is about the texture on it. It's kind of an eggshell finish. Now this is a huge stainless steel masterpiece. We haven't tried to polish it or anything yet. We've got to look into that first, but right now as it sits, it looks fantastic. And these are just some of the nicest, most high-end pieces. This, you don't want to drop this on your foot. That is such a nice feeling piece. You've got 4 jets, a dedicated down piece, and 2 waterfall showers. You got the waterfall and then you got the rainfall. So this shower is decked out. I mean, you won't want to come out of there, especially with unlimited hot water. Now back here, we've got an extra large walk-in closet, and there's a door, a pocket door that actually shuts it off. So if you don't want to see this and you just want to have it shut off for any reason, you totally can. And on top of that, you could add bunks back here if you ever wanted to. You've got a perfect bunk ready King Air floor plan here. But even if you don't turn it into bunks back in the back, we do have nice amount of space here. It's all finished out very nicely. The woodwork is beautiful. A Whirlpool set of washer dryer stack, more cabinet space back here, and that's where the cedar starts. This whole wall in the back and on my right is lined in cedar. Now these shelves right here are adjustable. Right now we've got some towels and some extra pillows. And there is a shoe rack as well as a nice safe here in the back right. And there's just a bunch of space. There's even outlets. You've got outlets in your closet. I think they're doing pretty good here. Check this out, I can fit in this little cubby hole. All right, now that we've explored this interior a little bit,
let's take a quick look at the cockpit. This coach has a bunch of screens, an array of screens, you could say, up in the front cockpit. We've got 2 large screens on the right, which allows you to break up your vast camera system and the controls for your radio, RAN McNally, GPS, and all that good stuff. There's also a valid digital dash. Now this dash will allow you to see everything from your CMS, your collision mitigation system, to your tire pressure monitoring system. Now there is, on the left side of the driver's seat, we've got our Hadley air control system, as well as our HWH hydraulic leveling system control. And then of course we've got the 6-speed Allison command. There's a button. There is a chassis and house boost button, so you can merge either way if you're trying to jump off the generator or the engine. And there are also automatic headlights in addition to fog lights, dock lights, dome lights, all the regular stuff you'll see on the dash of a high-end bus. Now the steering wheel is set up a little differently than the old school smart wheels. On the right side, we've got all the controls for our valid digital dash. And then on the left side, we've got our typical wiper blades and all that good stuff, with cruise control being on a stalk. And this cockpit is perfect for those night drivers like myself, because the blue accenting is just fantastic. You can turn it off if you'd like, but it really gives it a sleek look and it makes you feel like you're really in a cockpit. Now the passenger seat of this coach has its own thermostat. So you've got your own blower, you've got your own control over the temperature for the passenger seat. There's also a stepwell cover. There's map light controls over there. And there's also a screen to control the GPS and the radio. So the passenger has a lot more control in this situation, which is very, very convenient for both the passenger and driver. Okay, it's time for the test drive. So maneuvering this bus around town is quite easy. You've got that passive steer axle in the back and an excellent turning radius. The coach is quite maneuverable as a 45-footer. And you know, the comfort drive really contributes to making you feel comfortable and honestly thoroughly enjoy maneuvering the bus. It's like a Cadillac. You can just throw the wheel and it'll spin a little bit when you've got that comfort drive in the easiest setting. Now, obviously, another thing that's nice, around town driving and just pretty much slower driving that's not highway driving are a very nice set of brakes. We've got steel rotors up front, and we've got a finely tuned brake pedal that makes it very easy to come to a smooth stop in the coach. And the throttle mapping is quite nice too. The coach is easy to keep calm and composed while driving, and it doesn't feel like it's chomping at the bit like sometimes you feel with these 600 horsepower coaches with these X15s and all this stuff. And it comes from the chassis as well, because that Hadley air ride is really contributing to keeping it so flat and calm when you're maneuvering, and especially at lower speeds this is noticeable, and at higher speeds it's noticeable too. So all around, that auto air leveling system is a huge contributor to the driving experience beyond the enjoyment of just hearing the air adjust in it and just reminding you you're in a big bus. But you will feel it, especially going around tight corners. As mentioned, the bus will keep flat, but going up hills, you'll really feel the coach level out. And that's where it really starts to excel for not only the driving experience, but the overall passenger experience, and just keeping all of your things calm and, not flying around in the coach while you're driving down the road. Now, obviously, this coach is easy to drive. This is a Newmar King Air after all. I hope to see you all in the next video. If you're interested in this coach, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you for watching.